资本主义真的让我们更富有吗？全球化真的大开企业的机会之门吗？为什么越来越多公司关心企业社会责任 CSR 呢？来自英国剑桥大学的国际商业中心副主任 Noreena Hertz 在反省现代资本主义与全球化的浪潮中，长期协助 Fortune 500大企业面对环保问题。2008年 Hertz 在接受天下杂志专访时，畅谈 CSR 如何成为企业未来成长的关键所在。
There is this conscientious consumer, a whole market out there that companies want to reach. But also, this whole issue has become, it's not just a reactive response to potential dangers and potential dangers to your brand if you get exposed as being seen to be bad. It's also an opportunity for companies to really look into the future and think, well, where are there new business opportunities? There are a few factors which have all kind of happened at once. Part of it is regulation or fear of regulation, especially now with the result of the Bali UN Convention. Companies realise that within the next few years there are going to be restrictions put on pollution and on emissions. So again, they want to be ahead of the game. They want to think, well, let's front run our competition. So part of it is a threat of what regulation is coming. I think the other force that's really driving this is this new consumer, this new and enlightened consumer who does want to make a almost political statement with their purchasing, and we're seeing increasingly in the rise of, for example, fair trade products in Europe. These are products which are guaranteed to be made so that the farmers actually get a fair share of the proceeds, and the money isn't just kind of captured within the big conglomerates. I mean, the market for fair trade has just been rising at an exponential rate, at least 3 times the market for normal products, or the market for organic food as well, if we look at that worldwide as a trend. And I think another part of the reason is the media, and the media is, by publishing, scare stories about the environment, about health, about what we should eat, about what big companies do, exposing stories about slave labour and things like that. The media has played and is continuing to play a part in shaping and frightening companies into doing certain things. Also, because of the kind of new focus by activist groups, by pressure groups like Greenpeace or Oxfam or World Wildlife Fund on companies, companies realise that they're going to be judged increasingly not only on what they do but also what their suppliers do, what their customers do. So pressure groups are playing a really big part in this. There was a big case earlier this year where Greenpeace really attacked very heavily McDonald's over soya in the Amazon, and it turned out that one of McDonald's major suppliers, Cargill, was growing soya in the Amazon to feed the chickens, which then would be used for McDonald's chicken burgers. And but in doing so, they were cutting down the rainforests in Brazil, and so McDonald's, they knew that if they started attacking an anonymous company that nobody really knew anything about, like Cargill, they wouldn't get very far. So they went straight to McDonald's, did a very, very big publicity campaign. McDonald's ended up phoning up Cargill saying, what are you doing? We're getting into all this trouble because of your practices. And at the end of the day, Cargill and McDonald's together with Greenpeace have now set up a whole, developing the Amazon project, which will become best practice in the industry. So pressure groups are also playing a very big part in this. The other force which is really driving this that I forgot to mention is employees themselves, because people don't leave their values at home when they go to work, and employees are concerned themselves about the environment, about human rights. When I was working for BP, one of the senior executives said to me, when I came home and I said to my child, how are you? My child said to me, well, how are you? I've been reading these terrible things that your company's supposedly been doing in Colombia. It makes me feel bad that my father's doing this. So this is no longer whatever was called corporate social responsibility being put on the side, but this is now bringing this so that it's a core part of strategy, which I've been arguing for years is essential, because if companies want to be able to manage risk effectively, understand the opportunities that the new environment brings, whether it's reaching new customers, whether it's mitigating risk, whether it's creating new products to serve new markets. With food companies, again, there's a lot of development now in adding vitamins to your drinks, making food more healthy. With banking, there are opportunities for reaching much poorer consumers through microcredit schemes. So there's so much that can be done.